everything. So Worlds in Harem is a manga I kept stumbling upon in Japanese stores for maybe the past 1 or 2 years. The cover art by Shono Kotaro just kept catching my eye, like every time I walked into a manga shop in Tokyo it would be right there. And the manga must be pretty popular judging by just how often I saw it in Japan, so I decided to give it a try at the end of last year. And lately, I had to pick up some of the beautiful clear folders of the girls, mainly Mira, who is definitely best girl, and then Link's other story, Worlds in Harem Fantasia, which I'm also reading right now. I got some of the special art cards you can no longer even get in Japan. I kind of went crazy because I love the series so much. I got a bunch of exclusives, and I even grabbed the Japanese manga. I actually ordered the whole collection and it's on its way to me. Hopefully none of it is censored like it is online, and I think it'll be worth having the physical copies. The series definitely lives up to its name because we start off in the year 2040 where cryogenesis can just cure all disease, and Mizuhara Reito goes into cryogenic sleep to cure his multiple sclerosis, leaving behind none other than his dream girl Erisa, and he wakes up 5 years later to a virus that's just killed off the world's male population, except for him and 5 other guys. Ridiculous plot, right? Well, yeah, of course it is. But the author under the alias Link takes the idea and expands on it in some really interesting ways, and paired with Kotaro's near hentai art style, I just couldn't put this manga down. It was just so damn good. And it's so damn cool that a woman is drawing this, since there are constant new female characters and she obviously has a keen grasp on drawing sexy female characters. But even so, when this turns into an anime, guarantee SJWs are just gonna be pissed about the whole female population wanting to fuck one guy thing and the other guys taking advantage of the situation, even though clearly all of it is in a negative light. But you know it's going to be controversial if it makes it into the mainstream, even though the artist is female. It makes absolutely no sense these days. But anyways, Reito wakes up to a life of luxury and a population of sex-crazed women where he's a precious resource deemed to impregnate as many women as possible. I mean, it literally sounds like a ridiculous hentai that would be over in like a single chapter. But there is a really mature plot and some interesting characters beyond the premise. Like I mentioned before, the MC had a woman that he loved before all of the men died and women took over this post-apocalyptic world, and as you'd expect, because of that, he's a little bitch who abstains from sex because of his morals. That could have made this the most generic, boring main character surrounded by girls he doesn't fuck harem ever, but he's not the only guy alive, and the other characters doing any girl they absolutely want make up for this main character being a bitch. I hope with all of the popularity in Japan we see an anime for the series soon, but with it being pretty mature, I can't imagine we're gonna get a great studio to animate it properly, or they'll probably end up cutting out a lot, which would be super disappointing. It would be sick to get one in 2019 though, I'm pulling for it. And usually we don't see serious plot development in series like this, but it has a really dark and twisted outlook on humanity and politics after women just control basically everything and the population starts to dwindle. You have a government that mostly seems villainous and trying to kill the last of the men, and then a faction of women who are against them but in fewer numbers trying to repopulate the world. It's kind of like a two-sided war that's going on, and mixed into everything are just a few psycho ladies trying to destroy everything. Now before the virus, everything was handled by machines and people only worked if they wanted to, but now it seems like most of the world is in turmoil and trying to survive. I guess I'll have to get into some spoilers and some more of the characters. Each of the guys basically have an agent girl that handles everything for them, including finding girls that they want or anything these 5 guys desire. I think Reito's agent Suo Mira being absolute best girl just makes you want to keep reading, because it's like, okay, the main character's holding out for Erisa, this girl he's liked since elementary school, but Mira is for one drop dead gorgeous, and then she actually likes Reito and is respectful rather than just wanting to mate with him like the rest of the women on the planet. So the series really has you pulling for her, and I'm pretty sure they kiss, they've seen each other naked a bunch, but they still haven't done it, and we're like 50 chapters into the series. We finally see Erisa again since like chapter 1 because Reito's been searching for her this whole time. So there's that whole dynamic around which girl he's going to choose, and I feel like somehow he'll end up with Mira. Then the next guy we're introduced to, named Kyoji, basically takes any girl that he wants, and things get a little interesting when he wants Reito's little sister. He basically loves every second of the catastrophe, having all of the girls he wants, even including the famous ones, and it's a good balance to the MC abstaining as well. The third guy, Doi, is a nerd who was constantly bullied in school before the virus, and his insanely busty teacher was the only one who cared about him, so of course as soon as he wakes up, the teacher is the first person he sleeps with. Then he becomes kinda dark, and he basically owns the girlfriend of the kid who used to pick on him. Boy, that was a crazy turn of events. He's then like confined to a school just filled with girls, and he can't leave. It's almost like he's in his own little world. Why he would want to leave is beyond me, but you know, that's what it is. And then the last guy was an office worker, pretty much forced to mate with the group of girls who captured him. In recent chapters, a lot of shit goes down, and some girls have formed this like cult and created a monster out of abusing him. That shit was crazy. But there are plenty of interesting interactions between different characters, and I just felt like making this video because I couldn't stop reading it. That's pretty much it. I'm just excited to see where it goes next. It sucks that it's weekly or bi-weekly. I want to finish it right now. If you've heard of the series, let me know what you guys think. If you're reading it, I'm interested to know what you guys think and if people are enjoying it or not. Joey the Anime Man was also collecting the manga when I was at his house in Tokyo. He seems to be enjoying it a lot as well. I'm gonna catch up with him and see what he's thought of the series. Drop a like if you guys want to see it made into an anime. I know I want one super bad, animated by like Shaft or Madhouse. I know it's never gonna happen, but you know, a kid can wish.